do a secondary video to the video I made yesterday about wounded masculine traits. I want to go into what a healed, divinely guided masculine looks like, because of course this is important when we are on our journey and when we're looking to become the culmination of the best reflection of ourselves. And it's often, advantageous to have that list in the back of our minds. I will do this for the feminine polarity as well. And again, hopefully this information is helpful. I know it's certainly helpful for me as well, as a woman, really looking at what you want to see a masculine in your life embody. So I'm just going to kind of start right into it. When a masculine is healed and he's in his father energy or his protector energy, you're going to see the following traits, okay? First of all, they're going to be extremely reliable and responsible. So you're not going to see chaotic, messy behavior. They're not going to be erratic. And therefore, as a feminine, you're not going to feel unstable or destabilized in their presence. So this is going to be a really good indicator, is when you are around them, you can basically, like you're waiting to exhale, you're going to relax into yourself because you know that your guy has it handled. Of course, as a feminine spirit, there's a lot of things that we have to handle as well. But again, they are your pillar of strength, okay? So you're gonna feel that responsible, reliable energy emanating from them. They're vulnerable, not in a childish way. So I really wanna, make a caveat to this. This is a gentle, strong, intelligent vulnerability. Their communication is very easy. They let you in. You're easily able to have a dialogue with them. It's a very deep, spiritual, cuts right to the core, authentic kind of dialogue you're going to be able to have with them. They don't get offended. They're not afraid to show their more vulnerable side, their heart, their soul, because again, they're very confident in who they are. And this is, something that you won't see in a wounded masculine. They're very guarded, they're in their ego, and they don't want to get into topics that, again, make them feel uneasy because they really aren't truly grounded with their own essence at their core. Now, they're going to be adventurous. They're going to allow that side of you to come out because they are very grounded, they're very stable, and through this stability, they utilize their life force to go through or go on this joyous, fun adventure with their feminine. Okay, so you're going to feel adventurous in their spirit, in their presence. So this is a really good sign. They're courageous. So they are meant to be, that masculine polarity is meant to be that courageous portion of the divine connection. Not to say that the feminine spirit isn't also courageous. There's an element of courage in her as well. But when you are joined with that divine counterpart, you're both with, in union with each other. Your courage is magnified, beyond what you would be able to do on your own. Hence those two pillars coming together, the two pillars of strength. They are solution orientated. This means they're not going to complain. They're not going to go over and over things that don't matter. They want to find a quick solution and return back to that divine energy of peace and joy and love. They are logical. They are, again, a great communicator. So they are the voice of reason. When the feminine tends to be a little bit more intuitive, sometimes can move over into overly emotional, that energy, the balanced energy of both, they're going to be that logical essence that brings that divine union back into balance, okay? Of course, a woman needs to be logical as well, or the feminine spirit needs to be logical as well, but it is her divine masculine counterpart that helps move her into that balanced energy. Now, again, in terms of the divine counterpart journey, you do also have to balance these elements within yourself. So I don't want to teach this the divine masculine is naturally generous. He's naturally a provider. He wants to give to his family. He's not going to keep score. It's not this tit for tat energy or this, I did this for you, so you have to do this for me energy. You'll never see the divine masculine keeping score of this way, in this way, because it is his honor to take care of his family. It is his honor to take care of his feminine. And that's a role that he takes very, very seriously. Okay. Again, it's that father energy. It's that husband energy. Okay. And he's action orientated. So again, he's the doer. He's the one that is out there on the battlefield. Not to say that the feminine spirit doesn't do this as well, because again, I'm a very action orientated female. So, I understand that there's also action that the female has to take. However, I'm somewhat often a lot in my masculine energy. And so I'm working very hard to heal my own divine masculine within. Okay. And the other thing is that the masculine is a leader. He's the head of the household in the sense, not the head of the household like he's going to beat it into his wife or he's dominant or cruel or a dictatorship. Okay, that's not what I'm talking about. When I say he's the head of the household, he is that divine wisdom, that logic, that structure. Everybody is going to, lean into that father figure, that husband figure within the household. And so therefore he is the leader. Now, of course, there is that maternal spirit as well. That is also that dual pillar of the family. She is a leader of wisdom and kindness and gentleness as well. But their leadership role is balanced and they both end up taking or spearheading a leadership role within the family. Okay. Now, the other thing that you're going to find is that the masculine energy will set certain boundaries, just like the feminine spirit will as well, the divine feminine. But again, these boundaries are set in place to keep an equilibrium in this balanced unit. And again, they lead through example. So they're not going to be partying and drinking and doing drugs and messy or, sleeping in chaotic. That again is a wounded masculine energy or an immature masculine energy. And neither of which is wrong. It's all along the path to learning, but it's not somebody that is embodying the traits of an individual that you want to create a divine, lifetime relationship with. Okay. The other thing is you're going to find that they're faithful, they're stable, and they're steadfast. Okay. So there's no destructive behaviors happening. They're also not going to lead their feminine into any destructive behaviors. Lead their feminine or lead their family. Okay. And this is really, really crucial. So again, I kind of touched on it, but within a divine counterpart relationship, when you have a divine masculine leading the family, okay, they're not going to be drinking excessively. They're not going to be doing drugs or partying or out or all night or not coming home. They're not going to be angry and upset and complaining about, things in their life. They're a man, they can handle things. They are, again, very grounded and peaceful in their energy, and they're not going to lead their family into chaos, okay? So again, they're not going to put their family in a situation where funds are tight or they can't handle things. Now, especially in the modern era, women have joined this portion of the family where they are contributing and working. And I'm not going to say that previously in other eras this didn't happen as well. When we were more rural based, farming communities, of course the women were working just as hard as well to keep up the home, to keep up the farm. And so, historically, there was probably not a lot of families where the women didn't work. Okay, there would have been aristocratic families where maybe the women were more homebound, okay, and didn't do as much of that pitching in as possible. But again, those were not particularly balanced relationship dynamics, okay, because again, it is when we are in balance, it is when we are both the masculine, divine masculine, and divine feminine, when we're both putting in the work, that we create that beautiful dynamic family unit that again lasts the test of time. so, with this as well, when I'm talking about supporting your authentic journey, your soul's mission, it's not going to be in judgment of anything that you do. You might come across a little quirky, a little different, and that supportive male energy is going to love that uniqueness about you. So that's really how you're going to identify it. And with a wounded masculine, they would feel triggered by the parts of you that are different, that are authentic, that might cause others to be magnetized towards you, and that are your gifts. Because again, the reason this triggering happens is that masculine in its wounded state is afraid of your gifts, is afraid that you might leave them, abandon them, or that when you're totally shining in your emanation, in what you are, your soul's true purpose, that again, they won't be able to handle your light. That's really what, from an energetic perspective, they're feeling, but they don't know how to articulate it in this wounded state. So it comes off as possessive, controlling, belittling. They're trying to essentially take you down a notch so that you don't shine as brightly. And this would be a very unsupportive energy, okay? And it would come with judgment, because again, that reflection of wounded energy is going to be quite judgmental and non-supportive. Okay, so another one is humble, okay? So a healed divine masculine is going to be extremely humble. They're not going to need to showboat. They're not going to need to be, having all the women look at them, or they're not needing that. Again, they're centered within themselves, and they're comfortable in their own skin with themselves, and they don't need to tether to other energies or go outside themselves to feed that energetic need. Okay, they're also extremely honest. You'll never feel that they're in a deceptive mode, that they're going to deceive you. Again, it's an extreme comforting feeling where you can just relax. You don't have to be anything other than yourself. You don't have to, run around and try to be something you're not, or change yourself in any way, or change your body or the way you look or anything like this because of, an insecurity. You just have an internal knowing that when you're around this kind of divine masculine energy, that you are really, really safe in just your beingness, okay? And this is part of this honesty. There's no deception. There's no need to deceive the divine feminine, because again, the love is so incredible and intense that it has all it needs, okay? Protective. This is, really important. You're going to feel that divine masculine energy is very protective of you in a gentle way. Protective of you in the sense that they want to keep you safe. They want to watch out for you. They want to make sure that that you don't fall or you don't trip, or you're safe. It's that energy that wants to open the car door, that wants to turn around and check that you are only 2 steps behind. That's what you're going to find. And when you are dealing with a masculine that isn't grounded, they won't watch out for you. They're not going to be paying attention to you. They fundamentally don't care, because they haven't even learned to care about themselves in that way. So again, that would be where you'd see some of that wounded masculine energy. Again, they're very grounded. They're not irritable. They don't become irritable because, again, they're very grounded and nothing bothers them. If somebody cuts them off or somebody says something offensive, they're not going to bring you this chaotic, nasty energy towards their feminine that then their feminine needs to brace herself because, whatever chaos might be happening from the masculine. The masculine is strong enough within themselves not to bring the feminine that kind of chaotic energy, because again, she is the foundation of the family. She needs to be soft, she needs to be nurturing, and she needs to be this emanation of this beautiful, loving energy. And so that is what the masculine is doing with his protective barrier of his energy, is protecting her, providing a container for her so that she can essentially blossom and bring forth this loving energy. And again, when they come together within that family unit, they are bringing that augmented divine energy into the family so that they can take the elements of creation, their offspring, and give them the most grounded, loving energy possible, okay? Now, the next thing is giving and generous, okay? This is something that It's so important to have a dialogue about these things because, again, we've seen, especially in the last 100, 150 years, this element of broken homes, of unions that aren't working, and a lot of failed marriages, a lot of failed families. And it is because we have moved away from this spiritual structure that is the bedrock of the building of solid families. And it needs to be a thing that we relearn. Sometimes we forget to learn again. Sometimes we go through these cycles of time where we actually everything breaks apart, so that essentially we can come back into this unification of ourselves, of what we need to create as an individual family unit in divine union, and also as a human family, what we want to embody in terms of taking our societal groups, our cultural groups, our the totality of the human family and its spirit forward into the future. And it's important that we think about these things, okay? It's great to look at what has, out manifest in terms of the technological world, in terms of these amazing advances that humans have made. But it is now time, this cycle has come, full circle, that we return back to the basics and we look at what has swung in terms of the pendulum too far to the other side. We bring it back and we ground ourselves once again in that holy relationship with what is that divine unification of that love principle between the masculine and the feminine. And when that is seeded, essentially, that is where we form the container for new life, for that next cycle, that next generation. And it is paramount that we look at this and that we care about it in our journeys, in our continual out manifestation of what life is here on planet Earth. Okay, I'm going to wrap up this video. Hopefully you enjoyed this. I will go into this as well for the feminine in my next couple videos. And again, hopefully we'll see you in the next video.